project, it's worth 100 points. All right, so it counts like a test. Create a drawing design on graph paper, cartoon character, sports object, or mascot, or design a scene. Be creative. Create a drawing on graph paper. So I'm going to give you a piece of graph paper, and you are going to draw it on a XY grid, and I give you specific coordinates. I give you specific coordinates that you're supposed to set up your domain and your range. Otherwise, when you try to put it into your calculator, it's going to come out looking not correct. So you want it to be to scale. So when I give you the window that you're going to use, make sure you set up your drawing first of all, and then your program to do that. So basically, here's some pictures that people have done in the past. These are all done with their graphing calculators. Okay, and stop popping the bubbles, please. And these are the requirements. So you have to have at least 12 graphs. Like some of those on the wall have 50 graphs or 100. That one with the dinosaur up or the dragon, that has like 100 different. This one up here, it has like 100 different equations. But she was kind of crazy. But she's now like I tell you about her? This girl went to school here like 5 years ago. She's now like has a full ride to. Got some grant for $100,000 to get her master's in aerospace engineering and all this kind of stuff, and she's going to Washington D.C. But she was really into it, and she went to CU, and she's getting her master's and finished. I think her master's, maybe she's getting her PhD or something, but really achieved all these kinds of awards and stuff like that. So it's kind of that one's kind of crazy.
I don't know how to graph. Where's the circle?
Circle, probably the eye or something. So anyway, I got to keep talking. 2 circles, you have to have 2 horizontal or vertical ellipses. You know what I mean by that, right? Horizontal ellipse would be one stretched that way. That doesn't really look like an ellipse. Okay, but 2 horizontal, one horizontal parabola, meaning one that's going sideways. Okay, a vertical parabola, one that looks like that. Horizontal, just one horizontal or vertical hyperbola. Sometimes people just want like 1/2 of a hyperbola, so they would just limit the domain of it, or the range of it or something. You can't limit the range, but you can limit the domain. And so it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. 2 lines, and you should write the lines in like y. Point slope form is a good way to write them. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, because then you would know the point you want them to go through and the slope of them. But then there's a really easy way to graph lines. But I do want you to come up with the equation of the lines, and then you can just put it into your calculator. An absolute value graph, you guys remember what absolute value graphs look like?
It's a V.
A V, okay, so you could have a vertical absolute value graph, or you could have a sideways absolute value graph, or more than one, some of you, and any 2 more of your choice. Okay, so you need to have 12 conics, and I do look for them when I grade the project. The other thing, if you could, okay, you're going to make a table like this, and some people did it with just put it into an Excel spreadsheet or something like that, or made a table on your, probably not an Excel, just using Word, you can make a table and put it in that way. The other thing that would be really nice to add to this table would be like which shape this makes. So like this, to me, obviously makes a circle, right? So maybe you could just draw a picture, oh, this makes a circle, or you could write out here circle or sideways ellipse or something like that, or sideways parabola or something, just so I don't have to look at each equation and say, oh, this one matches with this, but I do check.
But I thought you can just look at an equation and know it like that.
What?
I thought you can just look at an equation and know it like that.
Well, I can, but it's a little, little more work for me. Yes, sir.
So if we have 12 graphs or like equations, how are we going to do that in a calculator? Because max is 10.
Because you don't put it into the y equals. You write a program and you put all your equations into the program.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you how to do
write
that.
in a program.
All right. Yeah, it's not very hard. Right. It's just there's just things that you gotta do. So if you could indicate out here which thing you are, and I do check. Okay, here's a circle. It looks like it should go through 5, comma, -3 and a radius of 4. So I look and I see that that matches what your original sketch looked like. Because the main thing is trying to get your original sketch, your computer program to match your original sketch. So I don't want, that's why I want to initial your original sketch, because I want to make sure that you are using math to figure out what your equations should look like, not the other way around. So I don't want you to come up with some random thing in your calculator and then go, oh, here's my original graph. You know, you have to actually make your program match what you want to do. All right. So that's that. And then moving on, here's some examples. And then these are just examples of how you would come up with equations. And I'll talk about this as you go. You'll probably need help. Okay, so if you know you want this parabola to go through the point 0, 8 and through to 11, then we're using more of the vertex form here, y = ax minus h. But what you're going to have to do is plug in a vertex and then a point you want it to go through, and then you have to figure out what a is, okay? And then I'll tell you your parabola. And then you're going to have to put restrictions on it, because you probably don't want your parabola going on forever and ever, okay? So what you're going to have to do is kind of stop it, or that's a sideways parabola, but you're going to have to stop it at some point, otherwise it'll go on forever. So you're going to have to limit the domain. That's pretty easy to do. I'll show you how to do that, okay? And what else is on here? And so that's how you get a parabola here. I'm going to show you how to draw this picture as an example. That's what this next program does over here. So here is the example of the program that drew this picture, okay? And so this was this person's original drawing. Notice that it goes, their scale, okay, is kind of messed up because I'm going to make you go from, I think, -23 to +23, and from negative, I forget what it is. It's in
went
there.
from -23.
Okay, where's my program? My program. Notice here, here's where I'm setting up my window. So from -23.5 to 23.5, and so on and so forth. And what that's going to do, that's going to give you a nice a window that matches your graph paper. You know what I mean? So yeah, well, not a square window, but it'll be rectangular, and it'll be to scale what you do on your graph paper. So this square, yeah, I guess a square window, yeah. And then this is how you get the things into the program. And this is like how you would find the equation of a hyperbola, where if you know where the center is and you want it to go through a specific point. So it gets pretty, the math could get a little tricky. This is an example of another hyperbola, okay? I think this is some of the work for that particular problem. And then here are various equations put into calculator form. So with these, there's no shift, so they're a little bit easier. This one has a shift. So this would be a circle, right? With a radius of 1 with the center at 3, 5. This would be another circle. This would be a right side up parabola. This is what right here? That's an ellipse going this way. This is an ellipse going this way. I don't think I have any for hyperbolas, do I? Okay. Here is what? Not till after spring break. Okay, so maybe like the 2 weeks after spring, like a week after the week after spring break. So today and part of next week, one period next week.
I know what I'm doing next week.
Yeah, and well, I'm not going to give you any other class time. Okay, so if I have free time here and there, I kind of block that and say, okay, now you can work on your project. So today, I think half a block day next week, and then or maybe Friday next week, and that'll be it for in class time. So you got to be working on this as we maybe over spring break. It'd be a good thing to work on. The drawing must be initialed. That's worth 10 points. The equations I don't really care about initialing the equation, don't worry about that, but you do have to have a chart with your equations in standard form and then in calculator form, and number which those match on your graph, on your original. Final design, like those up on the wall up there, creativity and neatness counts for 10 points, and practice problems count for 20 points. So, and that's, I guess I should probably give more of a quiz, but here are some practice problems. Here's what's that? That's going to be a ellipse problem. Ellipse, hyperbola, parabola, and then a polar graphing problem, which would be a good thing to know how to do, especially for the quiz, and then a parametric problem. So those are the problems you need to turn in, and I'll be grading those like I grade a test or something. So you need to make sure those are accurate. And it says make a simple sketch and write in standard form, so make sure you do that. All right, so I'm going to show you how to start writing your program. And all of your programs are going to start out the same way, so you might as well get out your calculators and try to do it with me. All right? Don't let me mess up. So what I want to do is get your program. First you have to get a program in there. So what I'm going to do is go to Program, and then I'm going to go to New, and you hit Enter. And then you name it something, and the letters are above the numbers. Okay? So if I want to name it, what should I name it?
Hey.
Lard.
Lard? Lard?
Narvin.
10. Name it
Fred.
10.
I want to name it Fred.
Kenneth.
Kenneth. No, let's just keep it
What's your
simple.
middle name?
Yeah. That's confidential information. Is this an R?
Kenny. What are you trying to spell?
R.
Free.
Fred.
Fred.
I like Fred. Okay.
Fred.
Fred. Okay. So then you hit Enter, and now you have a program in there named Fred.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let me.
Or whatever you want to call yours.
I just did
You
Fred.
call it something. And this is just kind of helping you set this up. Now I have to remember where I get all these commands. So these little 2 dots means it's waiting for a line of code. So where you go, the clear draw command, you go second, and then draw, and there's clear draw.
Wait,
Okay?
where's draw? Where's draw?
Draw is right above the program
So you
key.
do second
Okay.
draw.
And then you hit enter.
On circle draw?
No, just clear draw.
Oh, clear draw.
And then you hit enter, and it'll give you another line. Okay? That's clear draw. Got that? And what that does, it clears your screen out, and it allows it to draw a picture. Okay? Axes off, and the place you get that is you go second format, okay? And you want to turn axes off. That's in the format command. And all of these commands, if you forget where they are, you can just go into the catalog and look them up alphabetically. When you go down to catalog, it's down here at the bottom. So that has all the commands in the calculator, but it's easier to search this way. But if you are searching, if you're searching, if you type the letter above the number, it'll go to words that start with that letter. You know what I mean? Okay? So there's enter, and now my axes will be off. And then function off. Oh shoot, I forget where this is. I
Better
think
search
we
up in your
go.
catalog.
Yeah, show us how to search it up.
Oh, show you how to get it in catalog. So if you go to second catalog, whoops, what happened? Okay,
Oh, geez.
did I quit? It's okay. So now that's okay because it'll show you how to go back. So if you need to get back to Fred, you go to Program, and then you go to Edit, okay? And then it'll get you back into your program, okay? So that's a good mistake I made to kind of show you. Okay? And then catalog is down here, so you're going to go second catalog, and I want function off. So if I type F is,
Press alpha first.
oh yeah, alpha. No, it's automatic. Okay, sorry. F, Where's that? Here? I'm gonna be messed up. Off again. Off again.
Oh, so is it FN off?
Yep. Okay. There we go. So if I hit the F key, then you look for FN off. I think it's in bars, Y bars, but there it is. Function off. Okay. Got it? And that's what that means, function off. And you put that into your line of code. And there's that one. Okay. The next one you want to do is plots off. And you can find that the same place. But I think the other place you find it if you go second stat plot. And you go down to number 4.
Shoot.
Okay.
Where's stat plot?
Stat plot is right above the y equals key. And make sure your plots are up. That keeps it.
It's pretty easy to just go to catalog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
catalog's
okay,
really
however
easy.
you want to do
Straight
it.
to the left.
Okay? However you want to do it. Okay, so now this one, this is how you do it. So you go negative 23, negative 23.5. And everyone's going to have the same lines in theirs because this is the window that you want to have. And this arrow means store. Okay, so you go to the stove. I'm going to take you to this stove. Okay? Here's the stove. And you get that little arrow. And you want to store that as X min. So you can either look at that in the catalog, or you can go, I think this is, let me just play with this a little bit. What's above bars? I can't see.
District.
What?
On the arrow?
District.
No, that's not it.
It's
Bars.
like bottom left.
Thanks. There's no X-Men under catalog.
Window.
What?
There you go. Bars, window. Bars, window, X min. And I could stand it. Okay? Wasn't that a movie? Oh, that's X-Men. X-Men. Okay? And then you're going to go 20, or you can find, can somebody find it in the catalog?
I couldn't find it in the
Oh,
catalog.
then you better do it this way. 23.5,
Wait, we're doing both of those.
stow, and that's going to be X max.
Wait, where do you find X-Men?
I'll show you again. Okay, you go to bars. Where's bars?
Window.
Window.
It's next to clear. Down.
Bars is right underneath the arrow, the down arrow.
Bars.
And then window.
And then window. Bars and then window. Okay? And then X max.
Get the hang of this.
Got it? And put that in there. Right? And hit enter. Okay, and then you do the same thing for your Y min and your Y max. So negative 15.5 Y min. And everyone needs to have this line in there, these lines in there, so you might as well put them in. Stow. Did that.
Are we going to Y min now?
Bars. Window.
And now we're done.
Y max. This is Y min, right? Why not min? He's a nice guy.
Wouldn't this be easy to do on your computer with the mouse?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Okay. 15.5, but then I can't walk around. Stove as bars, window. Okay. Y max. Y max? Why not? I don't know. All right. So now you should all have those codes, right? All those things. So this is how you put an equation into your calculator. So I'm not going to do all of these. I'm just going to do a couple of them because it takes too long. So the draw F command is in the above the program. So if you go second draw, and what that means is it's going to draw a function. So it's not going to it's not going to plot the points and all that kind of stuff. It's going to draw the actual function. So that's above the program, draw command, and draw F. Okay? And then this looks like the top half of an ellipse. So, and the other thing you got to know is when you're doing a function that has a plus or minus part, when you're solving it for y, you have to do it in two parts. You can't plug it in all in one part. Okay, so I'm going to go draw F. Now I'm going to go second square root, just like you're putting into your calculator, of 81 minus, make sure you're using a minus sign, not a negative sign, parentheses, 81, what is that? Where's it?
It's your,
100. Yeah, let's, oh, that's probably better. 81 over 100.
It's like faster. Like I can play this. It's like faster.
Stop. Hey. X squared. X squared. Oh, guess what? I'm in parametric mode. So mode. I want to be in function. Okay.
Are all these equations just for
No, but yeah, these equations now are just, yeah, these equations now are just for that picture. X. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get out of here. Second, quit. Where's quit? Quit. Okay. Then I'm going to have to go into mode, and then I'm going to have to set it back to function mode, where I could actually do that. Okay. Then it's in function mode. Then I'm going to go back to program, back to edit. Okay. Edit thread, and then I could go back, and now I should be able to put in, change that to an x squared, right? X squared, right? X
Right
squared.
now, do you want the square after the 100?
After the
Yeah. No.
100. Whoops, I didn't want that squared there.
delete.
It's okay, just that one. Delete. Okay. And then I have 100x squared. Close that parentheses. Okay. And that line should draw that. Now I could check to see if it's working. I go in second quit, and I can go program, and we're going to execute it, meaning run it. All right. So if I run it, I hit enter, and you should get a nice top half of Fred's head. Right? Got it? Good. So now I'm going to show you how to do a couple more things. How to put in restrictions.
So, the draw F's part are the parts we're going to be interested in?
Yeah, those are the parts. Yeah, because that's unique to your drawing, right? Okay. And then, wait, I'm going to show you how to do a couple more things.
But all the stuff on top will keep the same.
All the stuff up top should be the same. Yeah.
Like even with the Y.
Right. And there's a way to copy a program and then delete the bottom lines. And, okay. So we're going to keep going here. Okay. And I'm going to jump down to showing you how to put in restrictions. Okay.
Oh god.
So see this here, over here. So this is, my screen's too small again. Okay. But if I want to put in restrictions, this is a parabola, right? A right side up parabola with a vertex at 0, -7. And you want to restrict the x values from -3 to 3. So let me show you how to do that. Okay? So once again, I'm going to go to second draw F. And I'm going to go, you could just hit 6 instead of scrolling down. And then I'm going to put in 1/4, and be careful with your parentheses and stuff. 1/4 x squared, right? Minus 7. So you want that parabola, and all you have to do here is this is just a divided by sign, okay? So that little slash mark, you have to hit divided by, and that allows you to enter in the restrictions. Okay?
But how do they know that like you're not just dividing by numbers?
How do they know that you're not just dividing by x? I'm not sure. Okay? So,
to put in the limitations, you have to do it by sign.
divided by sign. Okay? Then you're going to put parentheses. I think divided by and then the parentheses. Maybe tell it or something. Or maybe what comes after it tells it or something like that. So then you go x And this is where you find these greater than or equal to commands, okay? You go to, I gotta see on my screen up here because I can't see there. Okay. Second test. So math test, which is above math, okay? And there's all your inequalities, okay? So I'm gonna go greater than or equal to -3. Negative, make sure that's a negative and not a -3, okay? And then the and you get
Wait, you want it to be a minus?
a -3, not, this is -3, you want negative, okay? And you go to second test again, hold on, second test, but then you go over here to logic, okay? And there's your and or, okay? So then you're gonna hit and then you're gonna go X is second test less than or equal to 3, right? Oops, I hit equal to. Second test less than or equal to 3. Close parentheses. Okay, and then I'm going to go second quit to see if that works. So I should have the that parabola restricted from -3 to 3, and I should have the top of Fred's head, right? So if I hit Fred and I run him, there's the top half, and there's that half of a parabola, okay? So, or that whole parabola restricted, okay? The last thing I'm going to show you here, real quick, is how to draw a line, because a lot of people want to fill in with lines. Okay, and I do want you to come up with the equations. If you have to do a whole bunch of lines, like 10 or 20 lines, you don't have to do every single equation. But you have to write the equation of at least 2 lines and show how you found it and everything. But there's a really easy way to graph lines. And what this is, but
Can we fulfill all of the necessary minimum requirements and then just draw in the rest?
Actually,
Yeah.
this is the hardest part.
Okay. So last thing I'm going to show you is how to, what's this doing? Is how to draw a line between 2 points. So if I want to draw a line from the point 1, 3, I say this is the point 1, 3 to the point 1, 7, which would be a vertical line, right? You can do that real simply just by going to the second program draw line commands. Where is that? Whoops, I wasn't in my program, wasn't I? So I can quit. First, so that's what you do sometimes, you mess up. Program, edit, Fred, okay? Now I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. I think there's a way to go down to the bottom quickly, but I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so this becomes a pen because pain. So I hit enter because you need a new line. Second program, draw line. Do you see draw line? 2. See that? And all you have to do, if you want a point going from 1, 3 to 1, 7, is go 1, comma, where's comma?
Wait, where was line?
It's, where's the comma?
That's the parentheses, it's right above 7.
Right above the 7. Second, the comma is right above the second.
No, it's the button over 7.
Oh, sorry. It's in,
draw.
yeah, okay. So this line's going to go from 1, 3, that's from the point 1, 3 to the point 1, 7, okay? And then you close the parentheses, and that should draw a line between those 2 points. So just to check, okay, and hit enter, and go second quit.
That is going nowhere.
Program, Fred, and there's the top half, there's that, and yeah, and now he's got a line through the middle of his head, okay? But you can figure it out. Other words of advice, okay? don't make your things really, really, really small, like teeny little eyeballs and stuff, or teeny little ellipses, because your calculator only has so many pixels, you know? And so if you try to draw a really small parabola or ellipse or circle or something like that, it's gonna have a hard time because it only has so many spaces to do it by. You know, the resolution isn't all that great. Okay, so that's about it. Hold on. Yes?